Now we are seeing exactly how you're supposed to do to draw this. So you're supposed to get to c1, and as soon as you get the king to c1, it's a draw because it's going to become a stalemate, and that is just a stalemate. There we go. Look at this, guys. White won this. So this is Magnus Carlsen versus Sasa Martinovic. So let me just go ahead and show you that position. This is the position, guys, and this is 0.00. Okay, and so the game continued, and this is Magnus Carlsen versus, like I said, a 2500. Look at this, king e4, a6, knight e1. He's basically giving up this pawn, saying that if bishop takes a5, there's check and you're winning on b7. So black didn't allow that. So white started going b3, and then b4, and then he went c4. Now he's playing with this 3 versus 2, queenside attack sort of. And then he went c5 to create this square for the knight. Because if he has this square over here, he's taking away this square for the bishop. With the knight over here, the only way to defend this pawn is by having the bishop on g7. But then you can go knight d6, and then this pawn is going to become a weakness. Isn't this so pretty? Isn't this so pretty? Oh yeah, the idea here is that if knight takes e5, there is bishop takes b4. Sorry. Yeah. There's bishop takes b4. That is the idea. So, okay, so that is why white also went c5 to block the bishop. But now, more importantly, the bishop cannot get back on this diagonal. Or if they do, it's going to take a long time. So he went bishop h6, and now he went b5. Look how pretty, guys. Look how pretty. So b5, and this is really pretty because now this one of these really famous like ways of trying to get one like passed pawn. So he's giving up the pawn, and actually in this game, okay, king d7 is like a little bit better for for white, like king d7. There's knight takes e5, king c8, and okay, then maybe white goes b6, and then white will be bringing in the king and the knight, and okay, like something like this, white will try to do something like this, and it might actually just be a draw. But it's only a slight advantage, but practically it might be easy. But actually, black in this position when a takes b5, like this 2500 went for this move, and then Magnus went c6, he went king here, c takes b7, and then he went a6 to get his passed pawns, and then he captured over here, and then this is so pretty. Oh, wait, what? Magnus blundered? I thought he went for the other move. Wait, Magnus blundered actually. What was the time control? Let me actually check. This must have been this was the FIDE World Cup. It was classical. This was a classical game, guys. That was a classical game, and it was the FIDE World Cup 2021 between Magnus Carlsen and Sasa Martinovic. So why is it a blunder? Okay, so the idea is, I think I saw this on Agan Matter or Lavi. Yeah, I mean, this is like a crazy game actually. So yeah, so the thing is that he's going knight d7 because if king takes, there's a7, and then you're gonna be making a queen, so there's no way of stopping it. But now there is king c6, and actually, if you go ahead and promote here, if you go b8 promotion, takes and takes, the king can go here, and this pawn is gonna be lost. Like there's no way of like promoting that pawn, so you can't really do that. So the way of winning here, actually, it's really nice, was to go king d5. This is obviously difficult, but still. The idea is that after bishop takes e5, you can just go king takes e5. And now after b4, you're in time to capture this pawn. And the king will never be able to capture this pawn because you will be promoting. So after king d5, you're also maybe... I don't know if you're threatening to go here. I mean, king d5, yeah, the best move is to do this. If b4, oh yeah, then you can go knight c6. And now you're holding on to this square, and there's not really any way of stopping this. Like if you go king b6, then you can just capture the bishop, and you can't stop the promotion. So actually in this position, king d5 is just mate in 14. But this is really pretty. This is really pretty. And once again, the idea is just that, you know, if we exchange to the king endgame, this is winning for white, because the king is in the box and in time to stop this. And if b4, you can go knight c6, and there's no way of stopping the promotion. So this is actually really pretty. So bishop d6, but he went knight d7 and king c6. And now he went king d4, bishop c7, and the bishop is now blocking the two pawns. yeah, if he goes here, once again, there's a7, so you cannot capture the knight. So the knight is chilling and staying there. But obviously, yeah, obviously right now, Magnus didn't want to draw because he always wants to win. And now the opponent blundered by going bishop g3. And now Magnus saw it. He went knight e5 check, and this is a big blunder because you're right now blocking the bishop from getting to this diagonal. And after king c7, which was what was played, there was king e4, and now this bishop is completely blocked off the diagonal. So this, and now you can go knight d7 in better conditions. And after king here, this is actually so crazy. This is such a complicated game. But he was able to like move around. And then he just basically went the other way. This is a really complicated game. And now there's knight c6, and now there was resignation. Yeah, he was basically just first picking up the pawn and then placing his pieces in the best square possible. But the easiest way would just have been to go for the other move before instead of knight d7. So this is how Magnus Carlsen won. Crazy, right? And this was in a classical game. I mean, like, this is actually so insane. So that's why I wanted to add this endgame, because I thought it was really pretty how he was able to do this. I know, this was way too dank, but so many people were saying that this was a dead draw. I mean, yes, it is a dead draw engine-wise, but when you're playing endgames practically, if you're constantly trying to create weaknesses for your opponent is always going to have to defend, and it's really easy, no matter the rating, that they make a mistake. And here you can see how this 2500 made a mistake that made him, like, you know, lose the game. So it's so easy for all of us to just think, okay, draw an endgame, boom, finish the game. But we're not engines. We need to actually like play it out. And one of the reasons why Magnus is so good is because he's able to squeeze every single juice out of every single game by simply like creating small weaknesses all the time for the opponent, or like asking them to do it. So yeah. So that is pretty great. I mean, Magnus is really strong though. Magnus is Magnus, but there we go. There we have it. There we have it. That was pretty nice, guys. That was pretty nice. Big round of applause to Magnus for that game. That was pretty great. Although he's probably pretty mad at himself when he realized it was a draw. But there we have the different ones. So, guys, what can we say in conclusion? What can we say in conclusion all of this? Or it just makes the position so tangled, only he knows the solution. Exactly. Magnus is the GOAT. Yes, Magnus is the GOAT. Okay, so guys, what we can get for all of this, wait, how are endgames so much more complicated when the board is full of pieces? Because you need to calculate every single move, because the pieces have so few moves left. Like, every single move that your pieces do matter, and you need to calculate what happens after every single move. So, okay guys, conclusion is this. I feel like we always, with these like super GMs, we always see like a sort of creativity that I feel like we might not like always see against 2200 people. Like 2200 people might just say, okay, draw, and then it's draw. But we should always, you know, keep that fighting spirit until the very end.